Thank you everyone for participating. Let's just dive into the presentation. My beautiful assistant Fio, she's on the background handling the slides because I'm so excited about this topic that I don't want to have to deal with the slides. So you're gonna hear me. Puerto Rico, échale, welcome. So you're gonna hear me say next. Don't do anything that's for her to change the slide. And with that, let's take this on the road. Theo, let's begin the slideshow. It was here, I don't see it now. And if you want to put your beautiful face on video, I will welcome that. All right, while we wait for the slideshow, we don't need slides, right? Who needs slides? So today's webinar is on this, we're going to discuss and really dissect the strategy high performers use to get bigger raises and faster promotions. All right, and as you continue to trickle in, please let me know where you're coming from. I hope everyone, yeah, I see everyone's in. Excellent. Welcome, welcome. We're just in the beginning. So as I was saying, the strategy high performers use to get bigger raises and faster promotions. So what I'm going to teach you today is the exact framework that has helped my clients secure promotions and raises in half the time. So it's 3.7 years. That's what I call the promotion gap. You know that? Did you know that I did some research and I found that most people have to wait an average of 3.7 years? That's nearly 4 years of your life waiting for the next step up. And the thing is that I have proven that it doesn't have to be that long. And I'm sure some of you have waited even longer. Next. So before we dive in, I know a lot of you know me, but I always like to introduce myself again. So my name is Mari Carmen, and I've helped over 1,300 professionals advance faster in their careers, just like I did. And I've worked with executives at companies like Pfizer, DuPont, Johnson & Johnson, Teva Pharmaceuticals, mostly pharmaceuticals, and but a lot of other banking, car manufacturers, etc., in the US and also globally. And I've spoken on big stages like TEDx stages, big conferences for employment law, etc. But I was not always in this position. Next, I was doing what I call the backward approach. You see it there. So for years, I was stuck in what I call this thing, like working harder than everyone else, trying to be the smartest person in the room, like working hard at it, waiting to be noticed. Let me know in the chat if this sounds familiar to you. I want to know. So next, here's what I promised to deliver today. You're going to learn the exact framework that my most successful clients, including myself, have used to make their promotions inevitable without becoming someone you're not. The last thing I want to do is that you have to become like a different person, and with dedicating about 10 to 15 minutes a day, right? What I'm going to teach you today is not theory. These are battle-tested strategies that they work. They work. I have tons of examples, and I am my biggest success story. Next. So the wake-up call, right? Let me tell you about me, my own wake-up call. I was working, 80-hour weeks. Actually, I was kind of proud. It sounds weird now. That was many years ago. I was proud of it, that I was constantly proving myself. The only thing that was not happening is that I was not advancing like I thought I should with everything that I was putting on. And then one day, I've been super lucky to have really good mentors. One day through a mentoring session, I realized something that changed everything. I call it the breakthrough. And the breakthrough for me was simple. Next. I did these things. Stop hiding, start documenting. That's it. Stop hiding, start documenting. The people getting promoted around me, they were not necessarily working harder than me. They were not, a lot of them were smarter than me, but some of them were not smarter than me and they were getting a promotion. And they were better at showcasing their value. And I'm not talking here kiss ass and that type of political yuckiness. I'm talking like really professionally showcasing their value. And it sounds simple, but the thing is that nobody taught me that. Nobody taught me that when I did my master's degree. Nobody taught me that in college. Nobody said that I need to understand the concept about visibility and explaining what I bring to the table in a specific way, right? Next. So there are 3 promotion traps. Let's go to the next one. I want you to, but before I share the promotion traps, I want to know I want to take some polls. Do you feel invisible or that sometimes it's not invisible. It's like your contributions are not recognized. Do you have that? Okay. So let's go to the promotion traps next. There are 3 promotion traps that I call these career killing traps that smart professionals fall into. And I want you to, as I present them, I want you to think which one is holding you back. All right, next. So we're going to talk about one of my favorite clients. Actually, she reminds me a lot about me, about, I don't know, like 20 years ago. Her name is Sophia. It's the 60+ hour week. You know, her amazing results. She is, not was, she is delivering results. But she was passed over, just like me when I was in the same situation. And if this sounds familiar, let's go to the next slide. So the first trap is the workhorse trap. Listen, Sophia was struggling with the 3 traps. First trap is that you can read it, right? You put your head down, you work harder than everyone, and you expect results to speak for themselves. That's exactly what I was doing, what Sophia was doing. Let's see trap number 2. I call it the waiting game. This is where you do great work and you wait to be noticed. And you hope that your time will come. Sophia would fight with me on this one. Listen, my time will come. I need to be patient. I used to tell myself that. She used to do you tell yourself that? Yeah, I need to be patient and don't lose hope. Listen, yes, you have to be patient and you cannot lose hope ever. But the problem with that, when you are under market paid and being passed over, is that hope is not a strategy. Next. And this one, the yes person syndrome. It's saying yes to everything. What happens when we do that? We spread ourselves thin. We never really stand out in what really matters. Let me tell you, this is going to keep you busy, but invisible because you're so busy, right? Things are falling off your plate. Can you relate? Oh my God, it's just, you know what? I'm gonna be super honest. It hurts me because I remember saying yes to everything and then not being able to deliver because I was desperate to be noticed. So type in the chat. Let's go to the next slide. Which trap are you in? The workhorse, working harder than everybody else, the waiting game, which is trap number 2, which is waiting and hoping to be noticed, being patient, or the yes person syndrome. And don't worry, I have been in all 3 at the same time at some point in my life. Which is the trap that you resonate more with? 1, 2, or 3? The yes person syndrome. That's very dangerous. Thank you for sharing. You can continue sharing as I continue the slide show. All right, but we're going to fix that today. I'm going to show you, not now, in a few minutes, I'm going to show you the CEO salary negotiation template. So please bear with me because I want to take you through the whole framework, and I'm going to get you a copy. It's a handout that you can take home and you can use and follow at your own pace. All right. So let's go to the next slide. So if all of those things don't work, working harder than everyone else, working to be the smartest person in the room, waiting, hope, patience. So what does? What works? So I've developed what I call the high performance visibility triangle. And here I'm going to show you about the visibility triangle because we have to be visible, and also about the CEO dossier. So this is the framework that gets my clients bigger raises and faster promotions. You have it there in the slide. So this framework has 3 key strategies. Strategic silence, also known as strategic absence, strategic volunteer, and reverse authority building. Let's break it down. Next. So strategic silence, what this means is speak less, but make every word count. I want you to think quality over quantity. I have one client that went from talking for the sake of hearing themselves talk, you know who they are, you know who you are if you do this, to being seen as the voice of reason. She was super smart. And I've been there myself where I think I have to add something to the meeting. But, it feels icky. You feel it inside when you're just talking for the sake of talking. So the strategic silence is don't act from a place of fear. Say what you have to say when you know in your heart that it adds value. You know why? Because you belong in that meeting. And that goes with, don't go to meetings you don't need to be at. So that's strategic silence, which goes with strategic absence. Next, the second one, strategic volunteer. This is the opposite of the yes syndrome, the opposite of the trap, right? This means being picky about where you invest your energy at work. Not all visibility is equal. Not all visibility is equal. My client Joe, he's a controller. He's a controller in a small company, and the company grew, and the CEO decided to bring a CFO, like a formal CFO. So the controller now is not reporting to the CEO; he's reporting to the CFO, and he went invisible. He became a yes person. He was so tortured by the idea of not being seen. He would talk in every meeting. Actually, he was like driving us a little crazy. Not only he was my client, he was my peer at that moment. And we started using the strategic volunteer. I'm like, listen, Joe, you don't have to be on all of these committees. Just let's start identifying what is it that you're paid for to be, in the job that you're at, and what volunteer opportunities tie with that strategically. He went from almost invisible to presenting to the CEO in 4 months. And what he did is he volunteered for one high impact project. High impact for finance, right? It took 4 months. What I'm teaching is not magic, but it works. Next. Next, we have the reverse authority building. This is so good. So most people ask for recognition. They're like, hey, you know what? They ask for recognition, they ask for a raise, and then they try to prove themselves. Or they ask for a promotion but do not operate at that level until they get a promotion. And what I've noticed, not only in my research, but what I have validated in my coaching practice, is that high performers do the opposite. They document results before asking for recognition, whether it's more pay or a different title. They document the results. And what do you do? What do you need to do to document the results? You have to do the thing to be able to have documentation. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute now. Let's go to the next slide. This is what we document. There's one tangible asset that is the key to securing your promotion, and a lot of people do not use this. And as you know, you probably know that I'm not currently an employee of a company. I have my own company right now. I move in and out of corporate, so I use all of those tools myself. But listen, this also works as a consultant. I do exactly what I'm teaching today. Actually, I was doing that earlier today with a team that I'm working as a fractional CHRO. So what I'm teaching you are the tools that I implement every single day. I just feel so passionate about them. Let's go to the next slide. So I call it the CEO evidence dossier. And why CEO? I mean, some of you might be at that level, some of you might not, some of you might never want to be a CEO. But listen, effective CEOs, they think differently. Every move a CEO does has to have a financial or productivity impact in the organization they're leading. They're not in committees just for the sake of being visible, right? They're not saying yes. Well, some of them do and they get fired. They cannot be saying yes to everything or trying to make everyone happy. I want you to start, and that's why we named it the CEO Evidence Dossier, because I want you to start thinking like a CEO. All right. So how do you prepare? What do you do? Let's go to the next slide. So this is the most critical persuasive asset to your salary negotiation. In my case, to my rate negotiation. It takes about 10 minutes a day, and it has 3 steps. The step in the middle, as you can see, is the most robust, 10 to 15 minutes a day. Let's go to the next slide. So I'm going to show you the 3 steps. Step number 1, document your wins. Listen, how do you document your wins? This is a whole course that I do on how to communicate in corporate language. This is what I hear, and this is what I see. I see this from like VP level people, like completed the quarterly report, organized the thing, had cross-functional meetings with stakeholders. What is that? We're not in kindergarten. That's kindergarten leadership. I want you to look at the things that you consider a win and craft them and write them in a way that shows the impact. Deliver reports 3 days early, enabling critical decision ahead of schedule. And this is just a slide, right? When you see the dossier that I'm gonna show you really soon, you're gonna see how to do this. This one I will take even further. You deliver the report, the quarterly report 3 days early, enabling a critical decision ahead of schedule. What is the critical decision that was enabled? What does it mean to be able to make a decision ahead of schedule? What's the impact for the organization? Think like a CEO. And sometimes I see this also in the annual review. Oh my God, what a bore. The annual review, kill me now, right? And I'm in HR, as you know. People put there like things they did. And this is why good people get overlooked, because just like me, just like my client Sophia, just like Joe, nobody taught us how to strategically document our wins. But that's only the first step. So every day, you're going to go to your CEO evidence dossier and you're going to document the win for the day. Some days you might not have anything. That's fine. Consistency is the key here. Let's go to step number 2. Now, you have to quantify your impact. This is what I was saying before. You have to translate your work into leadership's language. For example, streamline the approval process. These are real examples. This is not me inventing these. These are real examples that I asked my clients permission to share. This is what I had. One my client is like, I streamlined the approval process and it was great and everybody congratulated me and then the review came and I didn't, I got the same like 3%. She was so frustrated and I didn't want her to just like go run for another company, because this is what we do. We're not promoted and then we look online and we get promoted through moving to another company and then we're stuck again. Have you ever been in a situation that you go to another place to look for that recognition and it feels good at the beginning and then you're stuck again? Let me know in the chat. I see that all the time. The grass sometimes is greener, but most of the time it's not. So look at the rewrite. She reduced the approval time by 40%. This took some time. This was not a one day, right? She saved 12 hours weekly. And during those 12 hours, the team was able to take a project that was $45K. Not bad. It took some thinking. It took a CEO approach. Let's go to step 3. This is where you showcase strategically. So I'm going to show you how this worked for one of my clients. His name is Kevin. He was basically stuck. He was okay for 2 years, but the third year, when he saw that other people were passing him in level, despite he was hitting all his targets. So he created his visibility map with the visibility things I discussed earlier. And just like Joe, he identified a high impact $500,000 account expansion project, right? I mean, he had to look for it. And then he documented his results. So what he did, he had a strategic conversation with his chief revenue officer, CRO. Not every company has this, but in his case, that was the person he needed to talk to. And within 4 months, it took him 4 months, he ended up with a 35% salary increase and a promotion to enterprise sales director. I think he was I don't think he was a senior manager. Let's go to the next slide. Let's go to the next one. So I wanted to put this quote in here because this is another example. I mean, I have a bunch of examples that I want to share with you. Very similar to Kevin. This is Sophia. This is what her boss said to her. I had no idea where you're contributing at this level, despite tons of like completed goals. So it's not that she was not valuable, right? It was that for what she was bringing, and Kevin and Joe and me, when I was in that situation, what I was bringing into the organization, what Sophia was bringing into the organization in terms of dollars and efficiencies and cost savings and avoidance of other costs, if that is not quantified, if you don't, this is my partner, right? A lot of people hate this, especially HR. I hear a lot that HR hate to work with finance. Finance is your partner. And if you're a leader and you're here, go and find out, if you don't know, what is the impact of the work that you're doing into the organization. And one thing that sometimes happens with my clients is that they find that they're working on things that have no impact in the organization: financial impact, productivity, efficiency impact, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all running a business. Let's go to the next slide. So filling the CEO evidence dossier takes about 10 minutes a day. And the best part is that this is all my clients needed to transform their career. Theo, do me a favor and show the handout in the slides because I want them to get a peek of it, a sneak peek. Thank you. So I'm going to have my admin show you the dossier. We're going to put it in the chat in a few minutes so you can have it, you can print it, you can have it for yourself. So far, I want to hear from you. How is this landing? Is this valuable for you? What has been most valuable so far? Let me know in the chat. A lot of yes person I'm seeing in the chat. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Thank you for participating in the chat. It gives me information to, to tweak as we go, tweak the conversation. So I feel more like there are roadblocks rather than any of the other issues for me specifically. Actually, if you can put in the chat, what are the roadblocks that you're seeing? Jose says, recognizing that I have to put myself out there. Yes, you do, in a strategic way. People are the roadblocks. Tell me more, Ashley. I'm going to continue with the CEO evidence dossier because just give me more in the chat if you feel comfortable, right? These discussions we keep them here. This is a safe place. Jelena says the dossier will definitely help me document and have more examples of what I'm bringing to the company. So you can see the dossier in the, so this is super important that you have a personal value statement. What is your target, but what do you want? What is your target position of compensation? And for some of you, it's going to be just being recognized. Then you have section 1 with the achievement documentation. This is something you have to know these things, not your boss, you have to know what the heck did you accomplish? What, is there any metric or any number associated to that accomplishment? What is the business impact? What is the date that it was completed? And here you have, achievement 1, achievement 2. This is to guide you. And if I'm successful today, you're going to take one of these things and think differently about your trajectory at work. Keep going down, Phil, to section 2. Business value quantification. Listen, you need to translate your achievements into business language. So these are things that are here to jog your memory. Because sometimes we forget that project we completed has directly influences revenue, new opportunities created, even hiring the right person, you can have an associated monetary value to it. Even retaining, clients, making sure your key employee does not leave the organization, which is going to cost, how much it costs to fill a job, right? 40% of the salary that you're paying. Get acquaintance with the nomenclature that it's out there. You can Google these things, right? Cost savings. Sometimes you're not doing revenue growth. Some of you are like, well, I'm not in sales. I don't touch. But how about what process improvements you've done? And so on and so forth. Risk mitigation, that's a big one. All of that has a dollar amount. Keep going, Phil. You have the strategic visibility plan Jose said, I realized that I have to put myself out there. Who do you need to meet with? But listen to this. I love that second bullet. What are their priorities? Not yours. Not yours. Their priorities. What does the CFO want? Something very different than HR. I'm talking about myself, right? Something very different than HR. But I need to know what that other person, what does my operations, chief of operations person need or want? What are their priorities? Because only understanding that, we can start positioning ourselves. Jose, this is for you. You can start knowing, where do I need visibility? And what is the visibility opportunity? Now we're talking about those projects, right? Strategically volunteering, remember from that other section? Keep going. I think we have. This is the framework, right? These are the instructions for the framework for the promotion or raise. And if you've never done this type of work, well, I'm going to tell you how to get help. But there's in that section where it says value justification, you see that? Very important. I'm not talking about your value as an individual. You don't have to, like, I don't want anybody here to think that it's because I'm honest, or because I'm a hardworking individual, or because of my IQ, I'm a problem solver. All of these things are good. However, when you are already in a leadership position, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis need to have some value for the organization. So this is not about you. This is about the results of the things you do for the organization. And then it never hurts to have a little bit of market research, right? And what else we have? Keep going, Phil. And then here you have a checklist for your pre-conversation. Basically, you can bring me back to the presentation, Phil. What we're doing here, and bring back the slideshow. The reason why I'm showing you these things, the reason why we prepared these, I use this for myself. What I did is I revamped it for you. We actually finished this 2 days ago on Sunday, just for you, because I'm like, you know what? Life is different when at least somebody's telling you these are the things you have to think about. And it takes about 10 minutes a day once you understand it, right? Once you understand it. So now that I've given you the framework, you know what to do, and you're going to have the PDF in a few minutes. But here's the thing, information, not transformation, information, data, it's half the battle. It's half the battle. The real question is, how do you implement this consistently? And I want to tell you about a program that I created. Pio, let's go to the next slide. Keep going. You'll see some slides that we didn't use necessarily. Actually, one of the things that we love to do also is to share the slides with you. Keep going, Phil. We talked about this. Keep going. So this is the gist of it. Document, quantify, and showcase. Document what you did in words that are business language words. Quantify, listen, put some numbers to it, some value, some data that talks to the person you're presenting it, and then choose to, who do you have to showcase it to? As I said, for me, as an HR professional, regardless of the industry, I have to have finance on my side, right? So when I come up with one of those strategies or one of those projects that feels a little bit more, HR, sometimes we're kind of soft. I have proven that that's going to increase something that my CFO values, all right? But there are other people, obviously, that I partner with. If there's an operational area, commercial, in terms of visibility inside or outside of the company, who do I need to partner with? Who needs to see my work, right? Keep going. Keep going. Oh, go back to that one, because I want you guys to see the conversation that, so this statement, my work has contributed $1.2 million towards our business goals. That took a few weeks because Kevin he was not using the CEO this year. He wasn't keeping track. Nobody, not nobody, but most people don't keep track. So we had to go back, look for information, all this work for him to be able to demonstrate that the value of the work, the value of numbers, not hard work, not because I'm a good person, that is good, but that does not necessarily get you the promotion or get you the salary that you're looking for. And this is the way he said it. My work has contributed, 1.2 million toward the business goals based on these results and market benchmarks. I'd like to discuss how my current responsibilities align with the enterprise sales director role. As I said before, he was a senior manager, and this enterprise sales director role was an open job that they created. I'm sure you've seen this, and they were looking outside of the organization. I've done it. Listen, I've done it. I've opened a job that I did this. Let me tell you, this is a huge mistake that as a leader, I made once. I created a job. I didn't think anybody internally could fill that job, posted, brought somebody from outside, had my team interview that person. I told them, listen, I'm looking for XYZ, and I don't think you guys have it. Somebody in my team had it, and I didn't know it. And she had no idea how to showcase it, how to put it in writing, how to even talk about it. This woman started getting silent and more silent with me because obviously she was frustrated. She felt she wasn't being seen. She actually was looking to leave the organization. And eventually she had the courage to say, but you're hiring somebody to bring to do what I'm doing. She didn't report directly to me. She reported to somebody else. I'm like, what do you mean? And because I do this work, I was able to, it was like pulling teeth, right? Get this out. Most leaders are worried about their own promotion and their own shit. The things they're dealing the day to day. They don't have time to pull teeth and take you through this process. One of the biggest things that I've noticed is that this is on you, man. This is on you. Nobody's going to come to save you. Ashley, thank you for opening up in the chat. This is very vulnerable, what Ashley is sharing in the chat. And there are, even though the strategies that I'm talking about might not feel related to somebody taking the credit for your work, if you don't have the backup that the CEO this year will give you when you take the discipline, you have to be disciplined and feel that every day, it's hard to even come back to when somebody took the credit or when you are left out of meetings that you feel you should be at. That tells me not necessarily that the roadblock is people. The roadblock is that they don't know what you bring to the table. And it is your job to quantify that for them. As I said, this does not happen in a day. This takes time. It takes discipline. Anybody else has any questions right now? Any questions, any comments? You can put them in the chat just like Ashley did, or you can unmute yourself. Pio, let's go to, not the next slide, the next, just go click twice. And let me know if this is valuable. I know some of you that, just let me know if it's valuable. Type 1 in the chat if you're getting some sort of clarity. I want to make sure that I need feedback. I'm that type of person. Thank you. So let's do two clicks again, not the next one, the next my life today. I think I already said it, right? Where I was, especially when I moved to the US from a Spanish speaking country, and my English was not even half of English understanding, and the way I communicated was not even half of of what it is today. And I know I still have opportunities for improvement. My life today is a life I have what I want. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have what I want. I reach the type of income that I want. If I'm working with an organization and negotiate the salary that I want, I'm not joking. I'm not saying this to make you feel. My goal is to make you feel that, oh shit, if she can do it, I can do it, because I have nothing special. What I have is an incredible ambition. I have incredible discipline, and I know you do too. But I also have this curiosity. I'm always looking up, like, how do when I see a person promoted or people in a meeting that I should be at, I'm like, why am I not included? What am I not doing? I'm really tough on myself. I'm always asking, what am I not doing? And that's a shift that has gotten me to where I am today, where I can, happily say, hey, I'm running a business. I come in and out of corporate, and uh, life is good, right? When you have the resources that you believe you deserve. So let's go two more, Phil. I was talking before about the missing piece. Is that information is half the battle. I am where I am today because I did those three things. I was consistent in the implementation. It's not a joke. We're not in kindergarten, right? We're professionals here. I seeked expert guidance. I could not have gotten here on my own, or reading or Googling things. And you know what? A supportive community. Supportive community. And I created this. It wasn't, it wasn't in a day, but I created a supportive community online. I created after COVID, and I created a supportive community at my work, a supportive community in my community. But the supportive community that I have created, and I want to talk to you about virtually, really has changed how I feel every day about doing these things on a daily basis. So I am where I am today. Let's go to the next page, because I want to show you, and thank you for staying. I'm cognizant that we have that PDF for you. If you can put that in the chat in a few minutes. I want to introduce you to the Fire Mentorship. This is one of the things that I have created where I feel heard. I'm the trainer, I'm the coach, and I feel heard, validated, taken care of, and I know my participants feel the same. The Fire Mentorship, it's a monthly membership where people like you, professionals, go, men and women, to share their struggles, to get monthly coaching, group coaching and individual coaching, to get over the hump of what it is to implement something like the CEO evidence.cr, right? And I want to talk to you about it. The Fire Mentorship is not for everyone. It wasn't for me years ago. It was for me later, but there was a point. Go to the next slide, Fio, because I wrote this down for you. So, if you want different results without doing anything, which I used to think I shouldn't have to do anything, and my work should prove itself, and I'm patient, or if you think you can figure it all out, that was me. Oh my God, so cocky. And waiting for the perfect time. If it's not the right time for you, then fine, right? That's not a problem with that. If you're not committed 100% to yourself, listen, because it takes commitment to be committed to yourself. But if you are ready for a transformation, That's in the next slide. Let's go to the next slide. If you're willing to implement proven strategies, ready to put in the work, and if you're prepared to invest in yourself, why not? Let me show you real member results. In the next slide. Minerva, my goodness, this is one of my biggest success. I have another one, but this is big. She was exactly where you are. If you're here today, she was exactly where you were, but this was for her, right? We started working on creating a bonus structure. This is a person who works in HR in a new company, and they didn't have bonus structure. So we're creating a bonus structure for the founders. I know this is unique, but we were able to get approval from the CEO for a bonus that it was 100% of her salary. To forget a 3%, 4% increase in the year. So this was 4 years ago, and it had so in 4 years, if the goals were met, so we had to quantify every goal year after year. Guess what is the fourth year this year? And she just got a 100%. So she's making X, and she got the same amount, and she's making multiple six figures. This was like close to $1 million a year for her. That's a lot of money that would have never been realized if she didn't have some skin in the game, right? You have Shania who doubled her hourly rate 60%, and I'm working 60% fewer hours. Shania is a very special example. I have a lot of them, but I chose her for today. She actually left her job because sometimes my biggest success story is somebody who realizes that their value is better off working differently. So she left her job, sold her services back to the same company, working 60% fewer hours at a higher salary rate. And she did that following the same exact formula that we did that while she was working. And I have done that myself. I have worked myself out of a job. I have eliminated my job purposely. I started doing this years ago. And then going back to the company as a consultant for higher the rate and way less hours. And then you have my client, Mia, who joined the FIRE mentorship, and she's starting getting recognitions through high impact activities. Mia used to go to every meeting, and these are her words: I just need to show face. I'm working on something else. And one day they called her. She didn't even know what they were talking about. She thought all she had to do is show face, put her face on video and be there. And that cost her dearly. But we change all of that, right? We change all of that because we don't go to meetings to show face. So let me show you the benefits of the FIRE mentorship. Go two down. So we have in the FIRE mentorship, we have monthly 90-minute training sessions once a month. This is executive coaching sessions where I give you what to implement. You go implement that. Let's say it's the CEO dossier, and then we come back. You're gonna have roadblocks in implementing things, that I teach you in 90 minutes. But the beauty of being in a community is that we have cadence, right? And you come back and get coaching and get other people showing you what they did, what worked, what didn't work. We have inside of the FIRE mentorship course, we'll go to the next slide. We have a strategic communication course that I teach you everything about strategic communication. And this is verbal and written communication so that you can be heard. I work with a lot of very smart people that are just not heard. So we included that as part of the membership. You get the next, you get one-on-one career coaching. And you get the most important thing, the thing that changed my life, access to a private community of like-minded leaders that are going through the same things the same things you're going to. So one up. Well, you saw the offer. Since it's there, you know what? Things happen for a reason. So here's what I prepared. This is specifically for today. I know who signed up for today. I see your name. I know you know me. And I'm like, you know what? I have to do a very special offer for my people today. You can go to Fio, if you can put the link on the chat, that will be great. We have 3 levels of membership. We have the first level, which is at $99, and you get all the recordings, you get all the courses, you get all the that's $99 a month. You get all the templates, everything, right? And then we have the middle tier, which is $497 a month, and then we have a higher tier, which is about 12, I think it's 1,200 a month. For today, because you're here, we prepare a very special offer. We're leaving you the $497 a month for $99 a month, and it's available only this week. You have the discount there, Blaze, because it's the Blaze level. If you go into that QR code, you can see it. You can see, you know, the payment options. But I want to show you something else. Let me see if I can share my screen. Bear with me here, guys. Bear with me here. I can't get to it, but if you go to my website, meetmaricarmen.com, meet Maricarmen, I'm going to put it in the chat. You will be able to see there, meetmaricarmen.com. You'll be able to go to the Fire Mentorship in there. Actually, I see it now. And see everything that is included in the middle tier. And we sell that for $497. And it also has, this is super, super valuable. It also has what we call laser coaching. This is access to me or one of my coaches. Like once or twice a month, you can just schedule a one-on-one call. We call them laser coaching sessions because they're very targeted. You come with your specific problem, and this is private one-on-one. So these things are so good. We have a lot of fun in the calls and implementing everything that we're talking about. All right. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. Theo, let's go back to the slideshow, please. So this discount code, Blaze, is only for this week. And there you have your copy of the CEO Evidence OCR. It's there. Thank you, Fior, for putting that there. Let's go to, if you have questions, put them in the slide. I want to show you the cost. Let's go, I think it's 2 down, Fior, again. I want you to see what is costing you not to have the community and the support that is needed. By the way, the slide is not changing, Theo, if you're there. Typically, the average promotion is about 15,000 to 30,000 annually. This is the shitty promotion that people get, you know, that little bit of a promotion. And one negotiation to get that higher, let's go to the next. One negotiation to improve the odds will pay for like $99 a month. Are you kidding me? It will pay times over. What I want to say, I attach return on investment, ROI, to everything that I do. Listen, the ROI is there. And next, if you're thinking you don't have the time, I thought about these things ahead of time. It's about 1 to 2 hours a week. Once you start doing the evidence dossier, all the other things that I'm going to teach you, and attending the sessions, it's about 1 to 2 hours a week. that is going to save you countless hours of wasted effort. And if it doesn't, you tell me, and no questions asked, we give you your money back. Some of you might be thinking that you're not ready. Let's go to the next slide. I just have one question for you. If you're not ready for a mentorship program, has waiting made you more ready? Like if you've been waiting for the right solution, do you feel more ready now that you waited? It's a fair question. Or less ready, or the same level of readiness? I want you to imagine 6 months from now, walking into your review with absolute confidence. You know, the review, the thing that we all hate. Not all, but I love them. I love them. I ask for reviews before the annual review because I can't wait to share the things that I'm bringing to the organization. And I do that today. I did that today, this morning, with one of my clients. Right? I'm not gonna wait to I'm 2 weeks into this contract. It's a new contract. I'm 2 weeks into my new job. I'm already today, right? Applying these things and making sure that I'm on the right track so that I'm not overlooked. So right now and for the rest of this week with this offer, I'm offering two choices. You can continue as is and apply the dossier on your own. Take a look at it. You have it. And thank you, by the way. Thank you for staying until the end. You can also join the FIRE mentorship and work with me and a group of like-minded leaders in making sure these things that are happening to us are not happening anymore. Making sure that our accomplishments are seen by the right people. Making sure that we're attending meetings and talking when we have to talk, when we have to add something, and making sure that we have the fortitude to say no to the things that are not advancing our career or things that are not supporting the goals of the organization. So let's go to the last slide. You have there again my website, meetmaricarmen.com. I'm very active on social media at Maricarmen International. This session was slotted for 75 minutes, and I've covered everything I wanted to cover for you today. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the chat. Anything that you might think about. Actually, if you're like, I have an objection to joining a membership, let's talk about it. Now's the time. I know some of you. Thank you, Ashley, for letting us know that you had to go. I'm going to stay here a few minutes. Thank you, Jelena, Ana, Jose, Sydney, for participating. Listen, you guys, you know where to find me. You can send me a DM. What do I see there? I see that people are exiting the webinar. It's been an incredible honor to be here with you, to have a conversation, to read so many vulnerable shares. And let me see if there's anything else here. Yes. Jose, Mari Carmen, could demonstrating my contributions and value to the organization be perceived as a threat to management? It depends how you present them. Nothing that has to do with you doing your job, the job that you were hired to do, and saving the company or fixing the company or helping the company in any way should be a threat for those who are paying you. So I don't see how that, obviously, we would need to have more context around it, but absolutely will not be a threat. And if it's a threat, let's talk about it as well. Maybe it's your time to teach them how it is that you're supposed to run a business. No threat. Absolutely not. Thank you for that question. And with that, like I said, you know where to find me. You will receive some follow-up for attending this this webinar, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.